Republican debate. So who could be poised to challenge Dr. Ben Carson or Donald Trump and elbow his or her way into the forefront of the Republican race for president? One of the candidates who will be on stage this evening, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. He joins us now. Sir, thanks so much for taking time out from debate prep.
Thank you, Jake.
You have said nominating Donald Trump would be a disaster for your party. He is no longer the national frontrunner or the Iowa frontrunner. Dr. Ben Carson is. Does Carson concern you as much as Trump?
Well, I think what's interesting about the polls is that it's a poll of undecided people. Every poll that we're putting forth, about 3/4 of the people in the poll are undecided. And I think you're going to see the polls go up and down. We'll have temporary leaders. It's kind of the way we've had it in past presidential cycles. So we think we are right in the middle of the mix, and we're hoping for a big breakout moment, maybe even tonight.
Are you going to talk about your concerns about Dr. Carson the way that you have about Donald Trump this evening?
I think we're going to try to put forward the message, which I believe to be true, that I'm the only fiscal conservative on the stage, because I don't think you can be fiscally conservative if you're reckless and believe in sort of a full amount of spending for the military. And that's what's going on in Washington. They're going to bust the budget caps by raising military spending and raising domestic spending. And I'm the only one that's saying, you know what, we need to hold the line.
Well, let's talk about that because, as you know, the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, and other leaders in Washington struck this deal over the budget. You have called this deal a, quote, steaming pile of legislation, and you promised to filibuster the compromise. You sent out a fundraising note about this as well. Do you think you can actually stop this compromise, or is this you making a point?
No, I want everybody in America to call their congressman and say, giving President Obama an unlimited amount of borrowing power is a tragedy. It's a disaster. This bill stinks to high heaven because we're increasing the debt with no limit. We're giving President Obama a blank check until March, even after it's out of office, till March of 2017. There'll be no limits on borrowing. That's a problem in our country. We're borrowing $1 million a minute. So, no, I think this is a terrible disaster, but it illustrates the problem in Washington. It's Republicans and Democrats coming together in an unholy compromise to bankrupt the country.
The Florida Sun-Sentinel today, a newspaper that endorsed your colleague Marco Rubio for Senate back in 2010, called on Senator Rubio to resign because he's missing so many votes. They wrote, quote, "You are paid $174,000 per year to represent us, to fight for us, to solve our problems. You are ripping us off, Senator." Rubio has said that he's frustrated with the Senate. He's not running for re-election, and most of the Senate votes are not consequential. Do you agree with Rubio or with the Sun-Sentinel?
I take my voting record very, very seriously, and I've made 99% of the votes. I'm going to continue showing up because you're right. I do get paid by the taxpayer, and I think it's very important. So I think the voters of Kentucky want me to represent them, and I will continue to do so. And I wear it as a badge of honor that I've missed very, very few votes.
There are reports on that subject that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, your fellow Kentuckian, wants you to focus more on your Senate re-election bid and perhaps less on your presidential race. If you don't come in top 3 in Iowa or top 3 in New Hampshire, will it be time then to focus on a Senate race?
I think it's kind of hard to come up with answers to questions like that because we're in it to win. I plan on winning in Iowa and New Hampshire. Every day we work as if that is our goal, winning. We're not looking to place. We're not looking to do pretty good. We're looking to win in Iowa and New Hampshire by turning out the youth vote, turning out the independent vote, and turning out the liberty-minded vote.
Senator Rand Paul, thank you so much. Good luck this evening.